Dragon folk, it is time for round 3 against our opponent Teppa here in the FaB Clash Bash that's happening right now. Our little league that we're getting set up, it's a very casual league. If you're ever curious about it, the invite for our Discord is in the link in our description. So please make sure to come ahead and check us out. And if you have any information that you wish to learn about Clash, we can always go ahead and answer that for you there. But today, we are going to answer the question of, is the second deck that I decided to choose into this matchup going to beat Kano? And we're going to go ahead and find out today. Alrighty, so it is time for Ira versus Kano. We're going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit here for you so you can go ahead and check it out. I go ahead and go first. Most of my deck is going to be Kadachi do a thing. That is the general concept of this matchup. Right here, I decide to not Torrent of Tempo. That actually gives my opponent the ability to filter their hand, kind of get some other stuff out of there and kind of work through it. So we'll see whether or not that was a good opportunity here. I'm going to go ahead and move to end. I'm going to put the Torrent of Tempo in there because we don't want the reds in our hand. And then our opponent's going to go ahead and play the energy potion off the top of their deck because Kano is crazy like that. That's very helpful in their gameplay. But lucky for us, they also get a snapback on there too. Now snapback, they get to play it as an instant anyway. They're going to pay for a Crucible. They're going to have snapback more than likely come in for 4 because that just sounds like the smart move to do. I am only running AB4, believe it or not. So I am going to go ahead and pitch 4. I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to pitch a blue and a red, or if I wanted to pitch the yellow and then two reds. So I'm trying to figure it all out. It looks like I keep the blue in hand simply because on my turn, I can go ahead and swing those Kadachis and still have some floating for any arcane damage they might be showing up at me. So there comes in the Harmonious Kadachi. I should have probably Torrent of Tempo'd here so that I was able to come in for 6 on a Torrent of Tempo, but I decided to just go with our Kadachis and then end our turn. Now we go ahead and we sit in with an Oasis Respite. This is going to be very, very good for us because Oasis Respite is incredibly powerful. The problem here, if I recall, is that oh no, I do Oasis Respite here because it just sounds like the right thing to do. So we're going to Oasis Respite. We are going to pitch probably just one of these 1-2 punches because we don't need it both. The Whelming Gust Wave does get pitched though, and then we can go ahead and block out this here, block out 3. I'm taking no AB this. I'm taking no arcane damage this turn, which is huge, and because they were presenting a decent amount of arcane damage. I just get to block it all out, and then I get to end my turn. Now, this still is really rough, because I don't have any cards in my hand. They have an E-Pot, an Arsenal, and probably a whole bunch of damage coming through. They end up getting the Aether Flare off the top, which is incredibly important to their game plan, because I cannot block it. There is nothing I have that allows me to get any prevention of damage off on this turn, which means that now they get to just go nuts for no reason. Aether Flare is going to come in, deal 3 arcane, and then when it deals 3 arcane, it's going to give 3 arcane to every it's going to give 3 arcane to the next arcane damage card that you play. So that's an additional amount of damage that goes on to the next one. Incredibly powerful. The Energy Potion is going to get popped here. Reverberate's going to come in for 6. It's going to deal 6 to me. Then Aether Quickening is going to come in, and it's going to deal extra damage there too. So I went down from 20 to 7 in one turn because I didn't keep anything in hand. And that is how powerful Kano can be. Now, of course, I'm sitting with a full grip now, and now my entire plan is just Kadachi, block out things where I can here. this time I decide to think about the Torrent of Tempo, because Torrent of Tempo is going to do me pretty well here. I then come in with the Torrent comes in for 5. I should have sequenced that better to go Kodachi, Torrent, and then Kodachi, because that prevents a little bit more of a scary number. But regardless, we're getting that +1 on there anyway. We get that, and now I should probably hold on to a head jab, but I decided to throw it out there because any extra damage is what I want. And now at the end of my turn, Kano's going to do their thing, where they're going to go ahead and try to instant speed me to maybe not death, but they're going to try to deal as much damage as they possibly can to me on this turn, so that way they can just end their turn with an arsenal and then wait to kill me on my own turn. Now, Reverberate blue is shown from the top. Not entirely the best card. You're probably looking for a red more than anything, but he is definitely popping off the blues. Another Kano trigger coming in, and this time they are going to end up Ragamuffin's Hat again. You need to have one card in hand to use Ragamuffin's Hat, so it does make sense why they would do something like that. Now, the Kano triggers are going to pop off. We are going to go ahead and see a Lessons in Lava banished from the top, which is really, really good for them. They're then going to play Lessons in Lava. And the issue here is that I missed my opportunity to Oasis Respite this Lessons. I missed my opportunity to do it because I wasn't paying attention. And because of that, I had an issue here. But I'm a good sport, and I make mistakes, and I want to learn from them, so I don't tell my opponent this is the case, and I go ahead and I just pitch the 3 to Lessons, so that way they don't get to search for anything. In worst case scenario, I end up taking a Reverberate for, I don't know, 2, 1. I can't remember how much blue Reverberate goes in for. I think it's for 1. But they do get to bring a Blazing Aether to the top of their deck, and then they're able to, make that happen with the additional effects they have. They're going to pitch, they're going to Crucible, they're going to go ahead and then play the Reverberate. Reverberate's going to come in for 2. I'm going to go ahead and pitch that. So now I'm at 5. I took 2 from the Lessons in Lava. They obviously went for the Blazing Aether, and now they have to be able to do it, but they come in for only 2 because they only dealt 2 arcane to me that turn. So I'm in a pretty bad position, I gotta say. Pretty bad position. But it's the end of my turn. I draw into 3 blues and a Descendant Gustwave. I need to win during this turn. My opponent more than likely has the nuts to deal 3 arcane damage to me over what I have, but I'm going to try my darndest and really play this in. I play this into the Kodachi. I'm going to use my last 1 floating resource to come in with a Descendant Gustwave. It's now up to my opponent to whether or not they can go ahead and do the Kano thing, because this is lethal damage. So they're going to pitch to Kano. They're going to see what's on the top. It's a blue Reverberate again. They're going to Kano again. And they're going to get a Lessons in Lava on the top. So huge for them right here. And this is kind of the setup they want. They want to be able to get that Blazing Aether and so on and so forth, and really kind of push through the damage. They're going to Kano a 3rd time, but then they're going to activate Crucible of Aetherweave. Now here's a little bit of a mishap on their end as well. They go ahead and they play Crucible, or they play the Aetherweave. No, what am I saying? They play the Lessons in Lava, and I pitch 3 because they wanted to what they wanted to do here, and they enabled chat specifically for this, is they wanted to resolve the Crucible first and then the Lessons. So they should have cast Lessons and then activated Crucible, so that Crucible gets the +1 onto Lessons. Now, what my opponent doesn't know is that I have another blue in my hand, so I could have blocked 4 there anyway, had 2 floating, and would have been pretty okay. He wants to resequence them, but I went ahead and I chit-chatted that we'd have to redo the entire turn, In situations like this, it's also incredibly different in regards to how you might change up your turn, how all this works. So we decided to, instead of redoing the entire turn, he accepted his mistake, and they knew that that was going to be the case. I was saying, hey, you know what? I can revert to the start of the turn, but it's totally fine. We end up getting it resolved. I go ahead and I still just pitch the 3. They have that come in. They're going to have a reverberate or whatever they put on the top be able to be put down. Now that Aether Spindle that came in is kind of huge, because Aether Spindle, reverberate's going to come in, deal 2 damage. I'm going to take nothing there, but I have 1 float, and their Aether Spindle is then going to come in for a decent amount. I think it's 4. But the problem is with that matchup was that it was going to come in for 4, but Aether Spindle costs 2 resources in order for you to play it, and they did not have any resources left, so they were not able to play the Aether Spindle that they had banished due to the Kano ability, therefore giving me the win. So this is my very first win in the Clash Bash of our matches. So now I have 1 match win to 1 match loss, and we've got plenty of games to go ahead and go over. In the Clash League, we do hope to have 8 matches happen between all players. So there's going to be plenty of games for you guys to check out, and I want to make sure that I get them into your hands as fast as possible. So let me know if you guys did like this video by smooching that little like button down there at the bottom. You can also subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. It is free, helps us out a ton. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. And once we do that, I don't know, maybe I'll do a crazy giveaway or something. But if you just wanted to go ahead and support the channel in a very, very easy way, just subscribe and then leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the Ira Kano matchup. Do you think that, you know, that it could have been done differently? Do you think maybe there should have been some different plays on my end? Let me know. I feel like the deck is pretty straightforward. It's run a lot of 0-cost blues and block 3s, pitch them, and then go in for an attack, right? I don't think it's that hard to grasp, but I feel like my build still has a little bit of work to do. This is the first time I ran the Ira, and playing it into a ninja or playing it into a wizard is certainly a lot more different than playing it into any other hero. But regardless, I had a fun time. Happy I was able to take home the win. And if you guys want to see any other special kind of gameplay, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be more than happy to see what I can do as far as matchups. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to continue having fun in the flesh and blood. And I will see you all in our next video. All right, everybody, nerd out.